Hey guys, Zoose here. So with the new patch coming out 7.24, this gives us a great opportunity to try out new keystones and new runes, one of them being Fleet Footwork. And Jhin hasn't been that much of a threat lately. In fact, most people would take Summon Ahri and even Arcane comment on him over this keystone, and they had a good reason to, because it was just stronger. And even though I still feel they're slightly better, this provides something different that Summon Ahri doesn't provide, and that is the healing. And because of the buff to this, I feel like this is really good now. This is going to make his laning phase really good, and he does scale really well, but he also dominates lane pretty well too. Jhin is one of those champions that if you position properly and you know your damage output, you can literally do so much damage. And that fourth shot, the healing you get, hitting your skill shots, he feels rewarding. He doesn't feel too broken too easy. You still have to hit a lot of skill shots. You still have to time. Even your Q has to have proper timing in terms of if you want to get the most damage out of it. So with saying that, with the buff to Fleet Footwork, we are going to try it out, and this is the perfect champ to try it, and that's Jhin. So get Fleet Footwork, great healing in lane, great sustain, even the speed up's good. And the new thing they've added is where it pretty much increases by 40% of your critical damage modifier. So this can be increased with the IE. Now Jin's critical damage is lowered a little bit. I don't know how much. It could be 150, 140, around that area. But that doesn't mean because he's got a guaranteed, fourth shot critical hit. It's not a big deal. Plus you get IE anyway as your second item, so it doesn't really matter. You're still gonna get that nice healing, and it feels like you don't even need a Bloodthirster to heal an insane amount. And first rune, speaking of healing, this is the perfect opportunity to try out a new rune. So Triumph got nerfed from 15% to 12%. Is it the worst? Not really. It's still a great healing fighting. It's a dangerous game. It's a little bit worse. You still get some gold, but this is a new opportunity to try overheal because it just got buffed as well. So get overheal. If you have a healer support such as like Sona or Soraka, then this is going to just add on top of that. It's just really good. It feels as if I'm getting rewarded for staying full health, and I'll explain later why that's important for this build too. Now, another change. It wasn't buffed or nerfed, but because we're going with healing here, and I want to try Bloodline. Because we want to get rewarded for that extra healing, we're going to get the lifesteal patches. The stacks for your lifesteal. And why not try it with him? Jhin doesn't exactly increase attack speed. I think you can still get increase attack speed by leveling up. Well, yeah, he increases attack speed by leveling up, but not through items. So why not just get lifesteal? Try it out. This felt really good, by the way. Sorry, this is not a troll. This is not just testing it for the purpose of testing. This is testing because it seems extremely viable. And the last one is Coup de Grace. This also got nerfed from 10% to 9%. In my opinion, not really worth much of a nerf. It's not that much to make a difference. People are still going to get this. Cut down. This is definitely going to be more viable just because of this nerf. Again, if you feel like there's a lot of tanks, you can always get cut down. Last stand. Definitely don't want to play with the last stand. Don't want to play with the mentality of being around 30% health. This is the opposite of what we want. So speaking of being healthy and being at a high health, we're going to make use of that and go absolute focus. Now this is going to be a new rune I think you'll see more of because of the celerity nerf, and because it rewards you for staying high health. And remember, we've got all these healing, right? We've got about 3 different healing runes. This is going to reward you for that. And remember, staying above 70% health, you get more attack damage with Jhin, and that is great because everything that he buys is going to stack AD. And with this extra AD, it's just going to make you stronger. Late game healing is insane, by the way. I didn't have any sort of healing items, just from the runes, and I was able to stay most of the time above 60 or 70% health. So this is amazing. This synergizes so well with these runes. And the last one is Gathering of the Storm. More AD again. These other two, Scorch is always great for laning, but we're not trying to go for lane dominance. We're going for lane survival and staying healthy. And since Jhin is a really good scaling champ already, we'll get Gathering of the Storm and just add to that scaling. And there you go. try this out. I tried it. It feels amazing. It's good to play something with fleet footwork. I'm sick of just, you know, being forced to use press the attack because it's just so strong. But with the nerf to it and the buff to this, definitely viable now. Try it out. So moving on to items. Now, with the start, you definitely want to take Doran's Blade. Even if it's a tough lane, I would resist buying the Doran's Shield only because of the amount of healing you get from this compared to every other item to start with. And remember, you are getting Legend Bloodline, so you're going to have that extra lifesteal from there, plus your fleet footwork. So think of, even though it's more of an aggressive item over the Doran's Shield, the Doran's Blade is going to give you so much more sustain. So keep that in mind with this. The Cull is always going to be okay if you can guarantee a safe laning phase and you know that both lanes or your enemy is not going to, you know, force fights either, and say there's no aggressive junglers, but that's very rare. But always keep that in mind. So first item you want to get is a Yumu's Ghostblade. Now this is, I'd say that you get a great power spike from this. It's got a great build path, and the movement speed on someone like Jhin is really important. It's also very cheap compared to most, you know, IE first items, but it gives him a lot of what he needs early on, but it's not where his real power spike comes from. Swiftness boots, okay, these are great on him. One of the only champs and an AD carry that doesn't need to get Berserker's Greaves, because he can't actually buy any attack speed, so they're completely useless. And this is cheaper, so you can quickly get your boots, get that nice movement speed, and that's when you start to get some mobility going. Now, moving on to the big ones. Now, at Infinity Edge, this is where he gets his massive power spike. And remember, Fleet Footwork now increases your healing with some, you know, the critical strike modifier, and the Infinity Edge actually increases it by 50%. So your crit is probably going to be around 200 and something, maybe 190 altogether, somewhere around that range, which means more healing. Think of it as more crit modifier, which is the passive of this. Basically, you're going to get more healing out of this. The fourth item you want to get is Rapid Fire Cannon. Great for range, great to start stacking that critical strike, and great for movement speed. Unfortunately, he doesn't make use of that attack speed. As far as I know, he only gains attack speed from his leveling up, but because he's got such high damage, you're buying it for all the other stats. Fifth item you want to get is the Guardian Angel, and this is going to complete sort of this nice strong build you have and guarantee that you won't die, because he does have vulnerable moments in fights where that fourth shot is down. If you're good at Jhin and you can time everything correctly, you'll know when to use the proper abilities at the proper time, because sometimes when I play him, I feel like spamming everything. He's kind of exciting to play, but hitting everything at the right place is really important. And again, if you can get your fourth shot off, die, and then come back and get another 4 shots out, this is going to be an extremely useful item. Guardian Angel is in a really good place at the moment too, so definitely want to get this. Now, the sixth item is all situational. Do you want to stack crit? Do you want to hard carry? Get this. This damage is going to just make everyone explode. Static Shiv's also great. More explosion, cheaper, but I mean, it's up to you. If you have the money, go for this. If you don't, if you're budget but you still want to carry, go for static. Scimitar, any CC threats that are going to take you out, you need to get this. And again, if there's so many tanks, you're going to need one of these. Depending on if they all heal, you're going to have to get one of these, and if they're all healthy, you're going to have to get one of these. Again, first 5 I would stick to almost every game, and the last 5 items is all situational. Pick accordingly, and from experience you know what to get, but definitely a solid build up here. Try it out, let me know how it goes, and I'll see you in the next video.